Let me test your memory for a second. Try to remember this. Red candle, broken mirror, blue bicycle, golden key, a dog wearing sunglasses, a phone ringing underwater. Now don't write it down. Just keep it in your mind. Most people would try to repeat the words again and again. Red candle, broken mirror, blue bicycle, golden key. And after a few seconds, everything starts to disappear. But there is another way. Imagine opening the front door of your house. Right at the entrance, there is a giant red candle melting all over the floor. You step inside and see a broken mirror floating in the living room, reflecting your face in 100 pieces. Then you walk to the kitchen, and there is a blue bicycle parked on top of the table. You open the fridge, and instead of food, there is a golden key glowing inside. You walk to your bedroom, and a dog wearing sunglasses is sitting on your bed like he owns the place. Then your phone rings. But when you pick it up, it is underwater, full of bubbles, and somehow still ringing. Now say the list again. Red candle, broken mirror, blue bicycle, golden key, dog wearing sunglasses, phone underwater. You probably remembered most of it. And the reason is simple. Your brain does not love random information. Your brain loves images, places, emotion, movement, and strange things. So if you want to memorize almost anything, the first rule is this. Stop trying to force your brain to remember boring data. Transform the data into something your brain actually wants to keep. That is the foundation behind some of the strongest memory techniques in the world. People who memorize long speeches, full decks of cards, hundreds of names, or thousands of digits are usually not using magic. They are using systems. And one of the most famous systems is called the Memory Palace. The Memory Palace is based on a very old idea. You remember places better than abstract information. Think about your house. You can probably walk through it in your mind right now. You know where the door is. You know where the couch is. You know where the kitchen is. You know where your bedroom is. You know where the bathroom is. You don't need to study your house. Your brain already knows it. So the technique is to use a familiar place as a mental storage system. Instead of trying to memorize a list directly, you place each item somewhere inside that location. You did not memorize 8 random words. You built a route, and that is why it works. The Memory Palace gives information a location. The strange images make it memorable. The route gives it order. This is also why bizarre associations work so well when remembering names. If you meet someone named Rose, do not just repeat Rose, Rose, Rose. Imagine roses growing out of her jacket. If someone is named Jack, imagine him jumping out of a giant Jack-in-the-Box. If someone is named Grace, imagine her walking through a room while everything around her moves in slow motion like a movie scene. The image does not need to be logical. It needs to be unforgettable. That is the secret. Normal is forgettable. Strange is sticky. Now, this works very well for words, objects, names, and ideas. But what about numbers? Numbers are harder because they are abstract. If I say elephant, your brain creates an image. If I say fire, your brain creates an image. If I say 72,948,103, your brain gives up. There is no natural picture, just digits. This is where the major system becomes powerful. The major system is a method for turning numbers into sounds. And once numbers become sounds, they can become words. And once they become words, they can become images. And once they become images, you can place them inside your memory palace. That is how a meaningless number becomes something your brain can actually remember. The major system uses a table where each digit from 0 to 9 is connected to a consonant sound. You can show the table on screen here. 0 is usually connected to the S or Z sound. 1 is connected to T or D. 2 is connected to N. 3 is connected to M. 4 is connected to R. 5 is connected to L. 6 is connected to J, S, H, or CH. 7 is connected to K or hard G. 8 is connected to F or V. 9 is connected to P or B. Vowels do not count. They are just used to create words. So, for example, if 3 is M and 1 is T or D, the number 31 could become mat, mud, or meat. If 5 is L and 9 is P or B, the number 59 could become lip, loop, or lab. If 0 is S and 2 is N, the number 02 could become sun. The goal is not to find the perfect word. The goal is to create a clear image. Let's say you need to remember the number 310259. You could break it into 3 parts: 31, 32nd, 33. 31 becomes mat. 02 becomes sun. 59 becomes lip. Now create a scene. Imagine a giant mat floating in space. On top of the mat, there is a tiny sun burning like a lamp. Then the sun grows a giant pair of lips and starts singing. Is it ridiculous? Yes. That is why you remember it. If the number is longer, you create more images. Then you place each image inside your memory palace. This is how people memorize enormous numbers. They are not staring at digits and hoping their brain will obey. They are translating the digits into a visual language. Number becomes sound. Sound becomes word. Word becomes image. Image becomes scene. Scene becomes memory. This same principle can be used for long numbers like pi or Euler's number. Euler's number is one of the most important constants in mathematics. Like pi, it is irrational, which means its decimal digits go on forever without a simple repeating pattern. And yes, there are people who have memorized thousands of those digits. That sounds impossible until you understand what they are really doing. They are not memorizing a cold wall of numbers. They are converting the numbers into images, connecting the images into stories, and placing the stories inside mental locations. It is still difficult. It still takes training, but it is not magic. It is method. Now, to understand why these techniques work, we need to look at what memory actually is. Memory is the brain's ability to store information and bring it back later. It starts when you receive a stimulus. You see something, you hear something, you read something, you feel something, you smell something. Your brain converts that information into signals that travel through neurons. Neurons communicate through connections called synapses. The more important, emotional, repeated, or connected something is, the more likely your brain is to keep it. One of the most important structures in this process is the hippocampus. The hippocampus helps organize new memories and plays a major role when you try to remember them later. You can think of it as one of the brain's memory gateways. But memory is not only one thing. There is short-term memory. This is the temporary space in your mind. It helps you remember a code for a few seconds. It helps you follow a sentence while someone is speaking. It helps you hold a small piece of information long enough to use it. But short-term memory is fragile. A distraction can destroy it. That is why you can walk into another room and suddenly forget why you went there. Your attention shifted. The memory disappeared before it became stable. Then there is long-term memory. This is where information can stay for days, years, or even your entire life. Some long-term memories are personal. A birthday, a trip, a painful moment, a victory, a conversation that changed you. Some are factual, words, ideas, dates, formulas, concepts, meanings. And some are procedural, riding a bike, typing, driving, playing an instrument, doing something with your body without explaining every step. That is why memory is not just about studying. Memory is the foundation of who you are. Your language is memory. Your skills are memory. Your habits are memory. Your identity is memory. But there is something strange about memory. It is powerful, but it is not perfect. Your brain does not record your life like a camera. It does not save every second in exact detail. Instead, it stores fragments. The main idea, the emotion, the meaning, the most important parts. So if memory can be unstable, how do we make it stronger? First, attention. You cannot remember what you never truly noticed. If you read while distracted, you are not studying. You are moving your eyes. If you meet someone and ignore their name, you did not forget it. You never stored it properly. Second, association. New information becomes stronger when it connects to something you already know. Third, visualization. Your brain remembers images better than plain words. Fourth, emotion. Funny, scary, strange, exaggerated, or surprising images last longer. Fifth, location. That is why the memory palace works. And sixth, recall. Most people think studying means looking at information again and again. But real memory gets stronger when you try to bring the information back without looking. Close the book. Pause the video. Ask yourself, what do I remember? Can I explain it? Can I rebuild the idea in my own words? That effort is not a failure. That effort is training. Every time you recall something, you strengthen the path back to it. And if you review it again later, the memory becomes even more durable. So here is a practical formula. If you need to remember a list, use a memory palace. If you need to remember names, turn the name into a strange image. If you need to remember numbers, use the major system. If you need to remember a concept, explain it in simple words and connect it to an example. If you need to remember something for a long time, recall it again after some time has passed. Your mind already knows how to remember stories. It already knows how to remember places. It already knows how to remember strange images. So use that. Build palaces inside your mind. Turn numbers into pictures. Turn names into scenes. Turn information into something alive.